Melbourne's babysitter killer.
Rachel trusted her.
She murdered their daughter in a jealous rage. In a 9 News investigation, she was sentenced to 20 years but could serve only 12.
I'm really fearful of this.
A family's battle to keep a killer behind bars.
She's got quite a devious, manipulative mind.
See it first on 9 News tomorrow.
90 charges are going to be laid at this stage, but the league is, of course, pretty keen for this never to happen again. Peter?
Thanks, Vicky. The parents of a teenage dancer who was strangled by a family friend 13 years ago have expressed alarm about her murderer's possible release from prison. Rachel Barber's parents warn that Caroline Reed Robertson is a manipulator who may try to trick the parole board. They spoke exclusively to Karen Huff.
A brutal murderer who obsessed about pretty Rachel Barber diarised her deadly fantasies, then killed her in a jealous rage. Caroline Reed Robertson is eligible for release next year.
I'm really fearful of this. I mean, I spoke to the victims registrar and I said, I don't want Caroline to come looking for us.
Reed Robertson was jailed for 20 years in 2000. Her innocent victim's parents have penned a letter of warning to the parole board, which will assess her in July and look at whether she should be released next year.
She's a loose cannon and you really don't know which way she's going to go because she's such a good actress.
Sentencing Judge Frank Vincent was also concerned about the unusual offender, saying she has a deeply entrenched personality disorder. He said, "You represent a real danger to any who may become the unfortunate subject of your fixation." He also had grave reservations about her rehabilitation prospects.
All this in a climate where parole violators are being examined with sharp focus by Victorian authorities after 11 of them committed murder in a recent 2.5-year period.
And with the system appearing to fail, the Barbers are even more concerned about what the parole board will do.
I want them to be absolutely certain that she is of sound mind because of how manipulative she has been in the past.
Karen Huff, 9 News.
In federal parliament.
The family of a murdered teenager has rallied outside the parole board in a bid to keep the killer behind bars. 15-year-old Rachel Barber was a beautiful, promising dancer, strangled by an obsessed young woman who wanted to steal her identity.
Elizabeth Barber is haunted by her daughter's murder and horrified the killer could be free in just over a year. The 15-year-old dancer was strangled in 1999 by her former babysitter, Caroline Reed Robertson, and buried in a shallow grave at Kilmore. Rachel's mother wrote a book and the chilling case was made into a film, focusing on the plain 19-year-old killer's obsession with her beautiful, popular victim.
You're perfect.
She wanted to be Rachel.
She's dead.
Not. Reed Robertson was given a 20-year maximum and will be eligible for parole in August next year.
She could well be a risk. I don't see that 14.5 years is enough time.
The Barbers are desperate to keep her behind bars.
Please write to the adult parole board. Think of your own children.
Yeah. You know, I always look back and think, oh, you know, what if she was still here? Where would life be now?
In a statement, the parole board says it will take the family's submissions into consideration, but stresses there are other factors in the decision-making process, such as community safety, the prospect of rehabilitation and a psychological report.
Legal experts say the family was already taken into account when the sentence was handed down, so the Barbers' pleas may be in vain.
I think the parole board won't give enormous weight to their considerations.
I don't think justice will ever be served for Rachel.
Jade Vincent, 10 News.
Striking toll workers